3,000 plus layoffs? 3,000? Look, we ain't got nothing to say. What the freak is going on? And here's the thing about companies, man. Companies want people to stay loyal. They want people to stay loyal. And then you cranking out 3,000 layoffs? Xbox, lock in. Jesus Christ, what is going on?
In today's gaming
what is
news,
going on?
Microsoft announces the most significant restructure in Xbox history, and Marvel Tokone will be blocked in over 130 countries. This is your daily
Holy smokes. Yo, where are we heading with the gaming industry? What is going on? I remember it was just as simple. You made video games and we played them. What is all this other stuff happening? I mean, we could be the problem. We could just be the problem, bro. We probably do. We want it now.
3,200 staff are set to lose their jobs at Xbox across the current financial year, with 1,600 of those layoffs happening today, July 6th. As part of the restructure, 4 studios are leaving Xbox to new management, and 1 is now in consultation over its future. In an email sent to staff and reviewed by IGN, Xbox boss Asha Sharma called it the most significant restructure in Xbox history.
You know what, man? It was just when people were kind of liking her. And I'm sure they go through their whole thing and what they got to go through for layoffs and every, management part, the supervisors and all that. There's like this whole process that you got to go through when it comes to layoff. But man, what a time for her to come in and then you just start hitting nukes. A nuke of a layoff, man.
Insisting Microsoft's gaming business is not healthy. Overall, Microsoft's gaming business is losing about 1/5 of its staff. South of Midnight developer Compulsion Games and Psychonauts developer Double Fine Productions will return to management and transition back to independent studios with their IP, catalog, and with runway for their next games, Sharma said. These games are so far unannounced. In Double Fine's case, it leaves Microsoft with the Psychonauts IP. Meanwhile, Hellblade developer Ninja Theory and State of Decay developer Undead Labs, quote, have entered terms to join new ownership.
So are they just getting rid of some categories?
This suggests both games will be released eventually, developed under new ownership. Microsoft did not say who the new owners are. Blade developer Arcane will now see its management enter their required consultation with its Works Council to review potential strategic options per French labor law, with a view to potentially selling or spinning out the studio. There's no word on the fate of the Blade game. Elsewhere, there are layoffs across other parts of Xbox, including Activision, Bethesda, Blizzard, King, Mojang, and Xbox Game Studios. Microsoft insisted none of its first-party, publicly announced games or projects are being canceled as part of these reductions. That means the likes of Fable, Gears of War E-Day, Clockwork Revolution, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 4, Minecraft Dungeons 2, and The Elder Scrolls 6 are safe. These devastating cuts follow last July's round of layoffs at Microsoft.
It just looks like they're getting rid of a lot of like those independent creators that, Xbox took under their wing. So, I feel them. It might be honestly an opportunity in disguise, man. Sometimes for some people to go ahead and explore without feeling caged, they may have not had a limitation. They probably had an insane amount of resources to be able to create and put it into play. But now I do think when you are placed in a position where you have to come up with some good things, now the audience or the players, we kind of will get, for the most part, we'll get what we ask for in a way. They'll start really directing these games, making these games to the highest, potential at the highest demand of what we're asking for. So I think it could be sweet, but some of them might not exist anymore, which could be scary, man. That could be so scary.
Entire business. A number of games were canceled as part of those cuts, including Everwild,
so and
studios shut down, such as Perfect Dark developer The Initiative. Now, just 12 months later, we're here again, although this time Microsoft has managed to find a path forward for affected studios. Moving on, PlayStation and Arc System Works' Marvel Tokone Fighting Souls has been blocked in 132 countries, and what appears to be another example of Sony's PSN requirements barring players from access on Steam. The full list of 132 countries includes Afghanistan, Haiti, Serbia, Zimbabwe, Egypt, and more. Why Marvel Tokone has been blocked in these areas has not been explicitly stated, but fans think they figured out the cause. It just so happens that the PlayStation Network is unavailable to access in any of the countries on the list. It's a situation that should feel familiar to PlayStation fans. In 2024, developer Arrowhead Studios confirmed that a lack of PSN access would block Helldivers 2 across a similar list of territories with an update. Thankfully, Sony eventually reversed course on that matter.
A lot of people not getting
Works has yet to publicly comment on the controversy, but IGN has reached out for clarification. Sony's interactive entertainment wing has put itself in the hot seat several times in the last few weeks. An internal document recently suggested PlayStation was shifting away from releasing its single-player games on PC. Last week, the company announced it would end physical disc production for new games in early 2028.
Man, that is still up in the heights,
Now the company is back in players' crosshairs as Marvel fans learn the new fighting game will be blocked from access in all those territories.
I am curious to know, man, have anybody actually bought the hard copies since they made the announcement? I feel like people still haven't bought any copies, man. But I do feel like, and I am one that believes in the open world is the most goated game, especially when it comes to if you play offline. If there's any hard copy game that you should get, it should be an offline open world, or not offline open world, but a game that is open world. Therefore, you can endlessly play that. Now, you may not get the DLCs, but you can endlessly play that and make your progression with no limitation. Where you have other games like competitive games, PvP games, I don't know if I would see, like, for example, of Call of Duty, I don't see someone buying that, playing that offline, or playing the campaign multiple times. I just don't see that. It's hard for me to see, or even playing multiplayer to the max of just getting your... I don't even know if you could play multiplayer without online. So, unless you're really an open world player or those story linear campaign games like Resident Evil, I don't know. And how many times do you got a rerun of Resident Evil in you? So yeah, I don't know. I still don't. I think the hard copy move might be. Hey, it might be a good move, man. It really might be, and then they could really focus on bettering and big updates for when we play online and give us more games. I don't know. Would I like ownership of some of the games? 100%. But I don't know. It's a hit or miss with me, man. It's a really hit or miss with me.
August 6th for PC and PS5.
It seems like the gaming industry that we once knew, it's no longer about what we thought it was. And you can even see that with some of the games, man. I was just on Steam the other day, and there's so much remastered games that it's unbelievable. Like, we are in that era of, I think, like 2024, 2025, they started making remakes of all the classic games that we love and enjoy. But, man, I mean, it just really took a beating now that the gaming industry just ain't what we used to know what it used to be for, man. And it's kind of scary. It is really scary to know where it's heading, how we're going to look at games anymore. Do we going to want to play certain games anymore by certain developers, or some of the main developers or companies just greedy? And do we want to keep being a consumer of them, man? I don't know. I really don't know where it's heading. I really hope that Xbox, makes that transition and come into a good place. And probably, I really wouldn't even know where they could even start. Sony, they may be making a good move with all digital for us to save money and get access to more games, but I don't know. That ownership, not having that, just having that limitation on us, man, it's just that one little feeling where we're like, oh, you gonna stop me? Y'all let me know what y'all think. Man, the industry is in an interesting spot, man. Oof.